So today I'm at Wat Marp Jan. Wat Marp Jan is a Thai temple in Rayong Province in central Thailand. From here it's about 2.5 hour drive from Bangkok. And you just saw me there entering the front gate of the temple, and now I'm going to be going high speed through the temple along the road. It's basically just one road that winds through the temple up a hill. It's quite a large temple. It's definitely in the large category of Thai temples. It probably takes nearly half an hour to walk through this temple from the entrance to the top. And so yeah, this temple is in the Ajahn Chah Thai Forest tradition. Ajahn Chah, as you know, is quite a famous and renowned monk of the last century. Pretty much every Thai person knows Ajahn Chah, and nowadays many Westerners who study Dharma also know who he is, or at least heard his name. He left quite a large legacy and had many Western disciples who are now teaching all around the world. So this temple is also in that tradition. It's one of the 250 plus branch monasteries that have sprung up. And Ajahn Anan is the abbot of this temple. Ajahn Anan was a close disciple of Ajahn Chah. Ajahn Anan now he's getting quite old. I think he was over 70 years old in this year of 2025. But the good thing is that Ajahn Anan, he's quite friendly towards foreigners. So this temple is quite popular with foreigners. Not only foreigners who come to stay a short while to practice Dharma, but foreigners who want to ordain can also ordain here. I saw at least a dozen foreigners here, a dozen foreigner monks here. And yeah, you can come here and practice Dharma. If you want to come here, you need to send an email to the office here. And I think there's a lot of policies in place, so if it's your first time coming here, you can only stay 1 week to start. And then you have to leave for a short while, and then you can come back. And then I think the second time you come here, you're allowed to stay for a longer period, maybe 2 weeks or more. And so there's a bunch of policies, and in fact, you may even have to come to this temple in a certain period of the month. Like I think the 1st to the 10th, you have to arrive between that period if it's your first time coming here. So I'm not too familiar now with that policies. You'll have to check that, but in any sense, it's quite a nice temple to come stay at and practice Dharma. It's a forest temple, as you can see. And this temple is quite close to the coast of Rayong, just 15 minutes drive, and you can get to the coast of Rayong here. Rayong is quite a popular province for beaches and islands. And this temple is also situated at the base of a mountain called Yai Ta Mountain. And both of these factors, I think, contribute to quite a cool climate here. It's quite cool compared to the rest of Thailand. At least the rest of central Thailand here is quite cool. So it's always nice to have a practice environment where you're not sweating all the time. Like in South Thailand, if you've ever been to South Thailand, it's like, yeah, during certain seasons, it feels like your body's just sweating all the time. You have to take like multiple showers every day. It's definitely much more comfortable here, we can say. And so the name of this temple, Wat Marp Jan, interestingly in English it's spelled M-A-R-P Jan, but actually in Thai they don't pronounce the R. It's not Marp Jan, it's Map. So it's weird. And so what does Map mean? It means, in Thai, it means marshland or lowland. And I did notice, yeah, there are some marshy parts of this temple. Not too many, but yeah, there's some ponds around and yeah, some wet parts. And the word Jan means moon. So we have the name Marshland Moon Temple. So the history of this temple, it got started in 1983 after Ajahn Anan had been wandering in the forest for many years before, as many of these Thai forest monks did in those days. They wandered around the forest of Thailand, something Thai monks are known to do, and just practice wherever. And so Ajahn Anan, he ended up in this part of Thailand here, and eventually some lay people donated a tract of land. At that time, it was just Ajahn Anan and I think 3 other monks and some lay people. They were just living on bamboo platforms and using simple umbrella tents called gloats. And yeah, eventually word of mouth spread and more lay people came to offer funds and develop. They built some kutis for the monks, and then yeah, slowly it got built up into the temple we see today. There's still quite a bit of construction being done here. This building here is actually fairly new, I think. So I'm gonna actually talk about this building later. It's a small shrine. It's very Mahayana. It's interesting too. This temple has a lot of Mahayana influence. I don't know the story behind that though. So I want to touch on the schedule here a bit. So the wake up is at 4 a.m. at this temple. Although no one's going to wake you up, there's no bell or siren or anything. So you're going to have to set your own alarm here. And I recommend using an alarm clock rather than using your phone. And so at 4:30 we have a morning chanting here in the food sala. You just have to walk down the hill from the dormitory if you're staying in the men's dormitory. And after that, we will have a meditation that will bring the time to 5:30. Then we start chores. I like to sweep out in this area here, which is like the parking lot near the beginning entrance of the temple. And if you're female, apparently you can help in the kitchen. Around 6 o'clock, 6:30, you'll see the monks start to leave the temple. As you can see in the distance there, this monk is leaving, going to the village to collect the alms from the lay people who will offer him basically food. We'll give him some food for the day. In this temple, there's actually a big kitchen here, so they make a lot of food here. So as you can see here, this is the kitchen area. So you might ask, well, why are the monks going out to the village to collect food when the food is made in the temple? One, I think it's to preserve the tradition of monks going out, which is called bindabat. It's not like they don't really need that food if food is being prepared in the kitchen here, but it's a way of preserving the tradition, I think, and also what they call giving the lay people the opportunity to make merit. Yeah, so it's all about merit, as I've learned in Thailand. It's all about that. And you see here, this is the parking lot, and the lay people have come here for the morning to offer food to the monks. They'll just situate themselves here, bring some food, and then the monks will make a round here on their way back from the village. But most of the food, yeah, they already have enough food, so most of the food they'll just give back, and you see a lot of sorting is being done. something you can help with if you stay here. And there's at least like 40 monks, 50 monks. I think most of the monks do go on Bindabat. I know there's definitely some that don't. The monk, apparently one of the duties of a monk is to go on Bindabat in Thailand. Considered one of the monk jobs. But I noticed, yeah, some monks don't for some reason. So then Ajahn Anan will be the last monk to make a round there, but some days he's busy. In fact, quite often I didn't see him come down to that to collect alms there. And after that we'll wrap up, bring the stuff up here to the kitchen area. The monks are gonna do some more sorting. They're gonna take the food that they want. Lay people still coming in here to offer things. If you want to offer something in bulk, you can do it here. Some of the Thai people just don't have the time to situate themselves and give food to the monks, like you saw, so they'll just come here and offer food in bulk. In one go, they'll just give a bunch of food. And then after we have a Dharma talk, chanting, meditation, the monks will give a blessing that will bring us to 8 o'clock. Then we eat. So this is the food line. It's quite extensive. The food here is quite plentiful, I must say. There's an amazing selection of food here. And even if you don't stay in the Wat, you can still eat. After the meal, you can help out with some chores. You can do some wiping tables or taking out the garbage in the kitchen. That's what I usually do. Then, as you saw, after I will bring some fruit back for the afternoon meal. I won't eat after 1 o'clock. In fact, it's a rule in Thai temples to not eat after noonday. So I'll just eat that fruit around noon, and I find it's quite adequate. It's light, so it doesn't affect my practice detrimentally. And this is the men's dormitory area. There's 2 rooms here, each with 6 beds. When I stayed here, there weren't many people staying here alongside me. There was just maybe one person coming in for a short while. Yeah, it's pretty empty in here. It depends on the time of year and perhaps the day of the month. And it's pretty nice. There's fans, there's electricity, there's lights. It's very comfortable. It's quite peaceful too. There's even alarm clocks you can use there. And outside the men's dormitory is this building, which is a meditation hall. The upper floor is like a common space for anyone can come in here and meditate. It looks kind of like a museum inside. As you can see, there's so many Buddhist statues. There's actually a bunch of relics and different items in here. Many different types of Buddhist statues in different postures and mudras. There's even some Arahant statues. Over here is a wax statue you see there in the chair sitting down. I didn't know who that was at first, but it's a monk that only appears in Thai legend. He's not a monk of the Buddhist canon. Many paintings and art, reliquaries. Various Guanyin statues and different attire and mudras, different styles. Very traditional Thai Buddhist statues. Here is a reliquary with relics. They may either be natural relics, real relics, or just symbolic relics. Or symbolic meaning it's just a symbol, not really a real relic from the person. And this thing here, I didn't know what this was at first, but I've learned that this is a very traditional Thai offering. It's usually a handmade item made from banana leaves, given to someone of high respect, either a monk or a teacher. May even be offered to the triple gem itself. Here is a cabinet with relics, various relics. I don't know if these are real relics or just symbolic. That could be like bone fragments, teeth, ashes, shells. I've learned that relic collecting is quite a big thing in Thailand, as are amulets. Collecting amulets, there's usually a belief that these have some sort of spiritual power, protective power, and so it's quite a big business. So now it is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It is just past the hottest time of the day, and this is when we have group chores scheduled. Everyone, even the monks, will participate in various chores like sweeping or cleaning toilets. You can see me here sweeping around the men's dormitory, having fun there. Now I want to talk a little bit about coming here and staying here, things that you should know when you're staying here. So, like I said, this is a very good temple to come stay and practice Dharma. The community is very strong here. I'd say it's something that generally foreigners will not find easily in most Thai temples, is community. So this is why I recommend coming here, because there's at least 50 monks living here, at least a dozen of which are foreigners. And many of the Thai monks can also speak English. There's frequently ordinary people like myself who come and stay here temporarily. If you're staying here, you must have a sincere intention to keep the 8 precepts. The 8 precepts are 8 guidelines that the Buddha recommended. He recommended people follow these 8 guidelines if they wanted to deepen their Dharma practice. They're a bit more strict than the 5 precepts, and they're common across all Thai temples. So if you're staying overnight in any Thai temple, you should be familiar with these guidelines and you should be following them. But if you want to know what they are, I'd say just look them up online. If I were to summarize them in a single statement, it would be to keep your mind pure. Also, it doesn't cost anything to stay here. Like most Thai temples in Thailand, they run off donations and the generosity of people. If you feel grateful for the opportunity and want to practice generosity, because I see generosity as one of the traits that we should develop in ourselves, in our practice, then you can give a donation. But also your good sincere practice is also good. The Buddha even said that whatever bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, layman or laywoman who abides by the Dhamma, lives uprightly in the Dhamma, walks in the way of the Dhamma, it is such a one that the Buddha is respected and venerated, esteemed, worshipped, and honored in the highest degree. So, it's your sincere practice in the Dhamma, living uprightly in the Dhamma, that is actually considered the highest offering you can offer. Ordination as a monk is possible here. From what I heard, the time it takes will depend on you and Ajahn Anan. What that means is, well, I'll say that Ajahn Anan, like many of these senior Ajahns, he's very sharp. He has a very keen mind and he knows what's going on in his temple, perhaps even knowing what's going on outside of his senses. So he knows who's in his temple, who's coming, who's going, who's attending or absent from the sessions. So whether you're ready or not to ordain will depend on that, and it could take up to a year, perhaps just a few months. Yeah, some people they're not ready to become a monk. They still have a lot of problems to work out in their life. They find they can't be happy in this sort of environment in the temple. Perhaps they're still addicted to things. Maybe they have mental problems. So not everyone's ready to become a monastic. It takes some time for the abbot to get to know you a bit first. So I heard the ordination will also happen in a traditional way of the various stages. So first you become a pakao, which is a white cloth anakarika, then a novice, and then a full monk. Interestingly, I did meet one man here who ordained as a full monk for just 2 weeks. And I met him the day he disrobed, and he said he was only allowed to do that because he was a longtime supporter of the temple. So there can be a lot of variance in the rules for people, depending on your relationship with Ajahn Anan. If you ordain here, they will take away your SIM card. This is something I see common now in Thai temples who ordain foreigners. They'll either take away your phone or your SIM card. Perhaps not until you're an independent monk at 5 years will they give you permission to use that again. But I'm not exactly sure how the policy works. Apparently there is a community computer here that monks can use to contact people, contact their family and whatnot. As for phone usage here, for ordinary people, one of the rules posted actually is to not use your phone here. To be honest, I don't think anyone is going to enforce that rule. And generally, you do see many people using their phone all over the place. Even the monks using their phone here. But the issue of using your smartphone is that they're incredibly distracting for most people. They're not conducive for practicing mindfulness or developing samadhi. So it's easy, as you notice, and it's very easy for people to get lost in compulsive checking, mindless surfing and scrolling. And phones are quite a doorway to put unwholesome content into your mind. Also nowadays I hear many things like how maybe that they affect the brain by shortening your attention span and focus. I mean, how many times have you been in public and seen people waiting around or looking bored, and then they take out their phone and start just surfing, scrolling, swiping all over the place haphazardly? So I would recommend, if you're coming to this temple, just to put it away. If you stay here, you may learn something about your mind in doing so. You may see how attached you are, and maybe experience the dukkha from that, from not using it. For myself personally, I don't put it away, but I do have a lot of awareness over my usage. For example, I'll only use my phone in the evening around 6 to 7 o'clock. And in that period is very, very intentional. So in that period, I'll only be checking and responding to messages and emails. I'll only be doing that and nothing else once a day. Other days, I'll schedule maybe 1 hour of reading on my phone. I might have an ebook on my phone that I want to read, and so I'll be doing that for 1 hour and nothing else. Not reading news, not playing games, not swiping TikTok, just reading my Dhamma book. So it's important to bring awareness and a wholesome intention whenever you're using your phone. Beginners usually they don't understand how distracted they are with their phone. So I would just recommend turning it off and not using it. Here we have a monk driving a golf cart. It's something I see a bit in this temple. Many of the monks have their own golf carts. It's a fairly big temple, so I can understand the importance of having a vehicle to get around. It's not really against the Vinaya, and I think monks driving is considered fairly acceptable in Thai society now, if the monks have a good reason to be driving. It's not like they're driving for pleasure, but they're driving the same time, traveling where they need to go. But generally, it's more ideal if the lay people will drive the monks. And I've seen it where monks are driving either trucks or motorbikes, but they're situated in remote places in the jungle, so they really need that vehicle to exit the jungle, to get to the village in order to collect their alms or whatever. Now you can see this is the back part of the temple. You can see the Ubosot, and this is the new chedi they've built recently. As you can see, it's a newly constructed chedi, and the architecture is really interesting because you can see that spire. That's definitely not Thai architecture. That's a East Asian or Japanese architecture. And so it's apparently a combination of Theravada and Mahayana architectural styles. And the construction began in 2014. but it's not complete actually. Even 10 years, over 10 years, the inside is still being worked on. And from the website, it says it's intended to serve as a symbol of harmony between various branches of Buddhism. Inside here we see a large Dhamma wheel, which is a symbol of the Dhamma. When I was here, there was lots of construction being done. Some construction workers were hammering stuff. So it is being worked on. And next door is the Uposot, which is usually considered the heart of the Thai temple. And that's where the evening chanting takes place, and ordination, and the bi-weekly recitation of the Parimok. So here we have like a small chapel in Mahayana style. It's very Mahayana. I don't know why there's so much Mahayana influence here. It's quite interesting. You can see it's very beautiful in here. The main statue is Avalokiteshvara, or Guan Yin, also known in Thai as Phra Me Guan Im. So you can come in here, you can meditate, you can do some chanting. It's a very quiet part of the temple, secluded. I don't really see people coming in here. In fact, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't come in here as often as I did when I stayed here. See, it's extremely beautiful. And this is around 7 o'clock in the evening. This is the time I'll make my way up to the main Ubosot. You can see the spire of the Chedi is lit up in the distance. Not every night is it lit up. And inside the Ubosot, the monks will come in here once they get dressed all nice. You can see them getting dressed. They have to dress formally for this. For chanting for monks is quite a formal occasion. In fact, I've learned there's a lot of formality in being a monk. For most monks, not all. So you can see the TV there. They even have a TV set up. You can read the chant off of the TV. They'll display the chant in Roman characters, so English people can read it. They'll even have the English translation, so you can know the meaning. Then we do 1 hour meditation. You can do walking meditation or a standing meditation, because 1 hour is usually too long for most people. That will end at 9. And that's basically the schedule here. So I hope you will come here, practice Dharma, have a fun time, a joyful time, and I would highly recommend this place. It would be my first recommendation for beginners in Thailand or beginners to practicing Dharma in a temple.